To Suck Less Saturday, it's Neil. I'm here at the Alliance in Sioux Falls shooting some videos here. They gave me the beautiful VIP so I can do that. If you ever get the chance, stop in and thank these guys. Hey, today I want to talk to you a little bit about your medical kit. Got one of these, and your medical training. And I've got an interesting assignment for you because when I did it, it didn't work out so great.
You need a shot timer because that which gets measured gets worked on. The Range Tech Timer is the official timer of active self-protection because it is versatile, reliable, feature-rich, and very economical. Check out all it can do at the link below.
All right, so this week, what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to go through your training logs and decide and figure out what your number is. Most of you gun school junkies already know what your hours are if you've got 500 hours or 1,000 hours or whatever of training. But go in there and just figure out what is a percentage of training that you have with some medical gear or some medical kit or just medical training of some sort, trauma, stop the bleed, whatever that is. Go just figure out what that number is for you. You don't have to tell me. I know what my number is. I went and figured it out, and it's embarrassingly low. So I'm going to do something about that. The next step of this is that I want you to open up your kit. If you're an instructor, I think a best practice at this point is to have visible medical on your body so that folks can see it. I feel like when I go to a class and there's visible medical on the instructor, that at least that's a sign of clue that they're taking this serious. They understand that there is the potential for some trauma, and they're at least prepared with the gear to deal with it, and I'm assuming the training as well. Most of the guys I go training with and spend classes or take classes from, I know have got a significant amount of training in the medical side of this thing. It's something that I don't have near enough and that I'm going to go work on. But having something like this at least on you, or at the very least very nearby, is something that I think is super important, and I think that everybody should do this. However, this is one, you've seen this thing on video on my belt a lot. It's got my little beast mode patch on there because I'm a knucklehead and I like to do things and go fast, right? And it's just a reminder to me. It's got a cat tourniquet on the outside of this thing, and then it's full of other stuff. So I've got some chest seals, I've got some Cheeto gauze, the quick clock kind of stuff, compressed bandages, some shears and that kind of stuff that are in here, gloves, and all of that kind of stuff. But today, as I was preparing for this video, I really wanted to talk to you about going and checking your gear and checking your training. But what I started doing is I started digging in and looking at some of my stuff. And here's the Cheeto gauze that was in mine. It folds up nice and neat and all that kind of stuff. So it packs in there really good. But as I looked on the back of it, this thing's got an expiration date on it that expired. Now, this one expired last month, so we're probably okay. So when I saw that, I also pulled out my hyphen chest seals that are in here. I've got 2 of them in my kit. Let me pull those apart. And on the back of that, there's also an expiration date, and these expired in December of last year. Now, I had made a couple of phone calls just to check on that. That is the date that the manufacturer says that in the pack, it's like shelf life, right? That it's probably degraded to the point that you should probably replace these kind of things. It's a little bit of an arbitrary number, but I'm sure there's some science behind that as well. So I went ahead and ordered some new chest seals, some new Cheeto gauze, and a couple other things on mine that are expired now. Mostly because if I ever have to use this, it's probably going to be on somebody I care about a whole lot. So to save a couple of bucks just seems silly to me. Once I get my new gear and my new kit, I'm going to go ahead and open these things up and I'm going to practice with them just so I can have an idea of what these are like. I haven't had as much training as I would like. Like I said, I'm fixing that right now. I've already signed up for a class or 2. But I feel like this is something that's easy. Go open up your kit, look at your expiration dates. If your stuff is expired, you get to do you, right? I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not giving you medical training, any of that kind of stuff, because I don't have that. I don't have the training or the expertise to share that with you at this point, so I'm not trying to be an expert in anything, but I can read a calendar and I can read a date. And so can most of you, right? So if you can read a date and it's already passed, maybe consider going out and spending a couple of bucks and updating your kit. That's your assignment for this week. Have some fun with it. Join us in the Ask Dry Fire group and tell us what you found. I will get one of these Ask Med kits to the person that can come up with the oldest expiration date on one of these things in the Ask Dry Fire group in the next month. Somebody's got to have some old stuff on there. I know that it's something that we just don't think about from time to time, and we really need to, folks. It's important. When things happen and tragedies happen, that's no time to find out that your gear is old and dried up and not working. It's time to do that right now. So suck a little bit less. Go check your dates. See you next week.